Hey everyone, this is Founders365 with me, Stephen Haggerty, and today I'm joined by 17-year-old agency owner, also known as or nicknamed as the Sales King, Mr. Josh Gavin. How are you doing today, Josh?
Dude, I'm doing amazing. I'm excited to be here and see what we do today.
I love how immediately people are going to think that either it's still Christmas or we're filming this before Christmas. But have no fear.
Yeah, we still got it up. Still got the tree up.
Yeah. I'm sorry that's meant to be bad luck anyway, but that's what they say.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's jump straight into this. So 17-year-old, big agency owner, quite the following on the old social media. Talk me through this. Talk me through your journey in terms of how we've ended up here on the podcast today with you wearing an amazing tie-dye jumper.
Dude, this is going to get people's attention. They're scrolling down the feed. It's good strategy. Yeah. So just like with the whole thing, I mean, and I'll keep it short. I won't go into all my failures starting, but I started out at 14 years old, didn't want to do school anymore. I wanted to be a music producer, realized that wasn't realistic, needed to find a different way around college. And so, of course, like everyone else probably who started with their business, went on YouTube and typed in the good old how to make money online because like, oh, it must be easy. Like just go on YouTube. I'm gonna go find something, right? And so I became one of those kids who thought I was going to make millions of dollars selling Chinese products on Shopify, right? I was one of those drop shipping kids. And, you know, so I say that with pride. I'm happy I was one of those kids. I learned a lot. But doing that, I soon realized I wasn't profiting. I didn't like it. It wasn't meant for who I was since I'm a very social person. I like getting on camera like this and talking, teaching, working with people and all that. And so I was like, okay, this is not what I want to do. And so soon after failing at drop shipping for a couple months at 14 years old, I switched over to selling services, right? And social media marketing. And of course, my services evolved over time. I started off with helping drop shipping stores. You know, I was like selling stuff I would literally do all their marketing. I mean, it wasn't the best, but I'd do it for like $97 a month. When I was first starting, which is absolutely insane. I wasted so much time, and I was like, dude, I'm making like $100. Like, this is crazy. Exactly. I thought it was a lot.
The 15-year-old.
Yeah. So I was like, dang, like this is where it's at. And I was like, okay, I need to start getting higher up. I need to get bigger retainers. And I came across people like Iman Gadzi, which you might know. I know he's located out in the UK too. He was kind of like my big mentor, and now like kind of almost like peers in a sense, and we talk a lot. And so I just followed what he taught basically, and I started my agency, started working with like higher end businesses, local businesses, getting those $1,000+ retainers. And that kind of just like shaped where I got started, and that built the foundation for my agency. And of course, now we've even switched our service again, and we're writing like copy and funnels for 2 Common Club members. But that's kind of like how the agency shaped. It evolved over time. I found what I was passionate inside of that. And of course, we'll probably get into it too, but like the education side of things, I started as well. But yeah, that's kind of like the whole journey. I was just like, dude, screw college. Don't want to do it. Had to find a way out of it. And I knew that I like doing things like we're doing right now in this kind of call. And so that's kind of how we got started in a nutcase, like how we built this up and started entrepreneurship, which is not that fun, or it's not that easy.
It is fun. It is fun.
Yeah, it's just not as easy.
Don't ruin the bubble for all the other people that think it's
I always tell people, I always ask, like whenever I interview someone, I'm like, why the heck would you want to become like, why did you start this? Like, it's not something that's easy, and it's like challenging, but like, of course we enjoy it. And so of course I enjoy it, but you look at other stuff, like, I mean, I would consider even harder than going to, at least for me, like there's a lot of things where it's like, it's harder than going to college, but I enjoy it so much that it doesn't seem like work. That's because I found my passion. So
exactly. There's that image of it. There's that image where it's like entrepreneurs, the only people to quit a 40-hour work week to work 100 hours a week.
Exactly.
A few questions here. So firstly, how did it feel when you went from that $97 a month to that big ticket, like $1,000 a month at such a young age?
So when you first see in your Stripe, it's pretty cool. You're like, okay, cool. But then literally right after, no matter, every time I get paid more for what I do, I see it and I'm like, I could be worth more, or I have such a high like standard for my worth. And so whenever I got that first $1,000 thing, I was like, whoa, $1,000, like that's crazy. It's more than 97. But I was like, oh, everything I'm going to do for this person, I know I'm worth more. And so it would almost be like kind of like, oh, like I should charge more, like I'm worth more. But that pushed me to go get clients that pay me now $5,000 a month. But even at 5,000, like with my results, and I'm not just like, oh, I'm worth 5,000 because I say so. Of course, it's what I do. But I was like, you see it, and you're just kind of like, okay, like I could do more. And I feel like, I don't know if that's common for other people, but and that's kind of like the thing, like it's never enough. And it's not like that. It's more so it's like my worth. Like I understand that it's more, and I'm always constantly improving it. So it was awesome, but I was like, time to get more. Like I can do more. I can do better. So that's kind of how I saw it.
Yeah. It's what did your friends and family think when you decided to go for this? Was it because I started at a young age as well? I was like, I think I started my first business at like 13, 14, and none of my friends understood. None, and this was like before Facebook and social media in that general. So what did your friends think when firstly you were like having $1,000 clients? Either they probably thought you were a drug dealer or you just got a massive inheritance.
Yeah. So I mean, my family is super supportive. My dad is an entrepreneur himself. He's worked from home a lot. Of course, he's done other stuff. Like, I don't know if you know Chet Holmes, or he basically helped like Tony Robbins' sales team. Like, so he sold for Chet Holmes. Like, he was like one of his top 2 salesmen on his team. So he was like a high ticket closer. He understood all this stuff, did a lot of traditional marketing. And so my family, my dad was all for it. He's like, do it. Like, nice. Forget school, kind of on the down low. But in front of my mom, he's like, do your schoolwork, right? And so, so you very supportive. And I mean, once you start walking upstairs in the basement, showing them your Stripe with, $100,000 in your bank account at the end of the year, they kind of just shut up at that point. And so, at that point, it's kind of like, okay, now you just got to learn how to pay your taxes. And so, that's that whole thing. But with my friends, I mean, yeah, it was interesting. They didn't really understand what I did. I try to explain it. I'd be like, you guys ever seen ad on Facebook, Instagram? Like, yeah. I'm like, well, I run those people. And I kind of left at that. But the level of respect I soon began to receive is kind of sad because of my status. My money was pretty crazy. Nobody ever tries to talk crap to me, really. And if they do, it's just like, why? Like, it's kind of like you can't say anything, and they're kind of like, oh my gosh, Josh, and I'm homeschooled, right? So I don't go to public school, but I play public school sports, and so I know tons of kids in the surrounding schools because I've just played sports with all of them, and so I kind of known as like the rich, like the businessy entrepreneur kid who's actually making money, not just having his bio on Instagram. And so the level of respect went up. You start pulling up in an Audi and all that stuff. I mean, yeah, they're going to be like, oh, wow. And so it's sad to see. Of course, I had friends before, and I know who my true friends are, but I can, there's those gold diggers out there, and, those girls be sliding your DMs, and what I'm saying. So that's kind of when you're at a young age. So, yeah.
Yeah, cool, man. So for you in the business side of things, where do you want to take this? Where do you want to take your brand? Where do you want to take this movement that you've created?
Yeah. So ever since I started posting stuff on Facebook, building my Facebook group, or just like in terms of the education side of things, I never really wanted to become a guru, course selling 16-year-old kid. Like, that was like my biggest fear. And that has limited me for the reach and impact I've made on people. Like, I know I could be selling more and, helping more people, but I think I've been so obsessed with building like a community. Like, I want to build a community where people are like, I'm so excited that I'm a part of this, and they brag and they tell their friends, they don't know what it is, and they'll wear t-shirts with it. That's like, I'm super obsessed, and I'm always looking at other communities and how can we turn that into that, and like, how can we help people want to be a part of our community? And so that, in terms of the education side of things, and that, like, that's what I want. I don't care what that looks like. Like, I'm not even talking about like dollar amounts with that. Like, I could care less. What would mean the most to me is like, if everyone in the entrepreneur community is like, I'm so happy sales kings, or like, I'm a sales king, I'm a sales queen, like whatever that may be. And so, that's with that, what I would say. Of course, for my agency. I would really
Why
like,
is
my
that
goal
so
with that
important though?
is I would like to get a physical location, and have like an office, like 5 employees, and like be working with
Mhm.
2 Common Club members and building funnels and copy. And so that'd be really cool. I've always wanted to have a team.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like my goal with that. But mainly I just want to build like a community where people like love to be a part of it. So that's kind of my goal.
Yeah. Why is that community factor so important? Why do you want people wearing t-shirts and like spreading the name of you?
Yeah. So did you say, sorry, you kind of cut out. Did you say like why is
Sorry, yeah.
community a big
Why is it
factor
so
for me?
important to you to do that?
Yeah. I mean, I just know that like I appreciate a sense of community. Ever
Hmm.
since I was a young kid, I've always known that I have some leadership role, and that was a gift I'd been given and I needed to use and not just put to waste. And so
Yeah.
I knew like, okay, I need to become a leader, something I always have been. And so rather than pointing people to me, like I want, the best communities are when there's a leader pointing bigger than them. And so I feel like it's just something where I feel like I need to be doing it. It's like my calling. I know all humans want to be a part of a community. That's just something people want. And so if we can create that for people, I know we're just going to impact so many lives
Yeah.
that way.
Nice one. Yeah, you're doing well. You're doing well. I like seeing your growth. For you, what
Appreciate
has
it.
been one of the
Appreciate it.
biggest challenges growing online? I'm guessing age must come
Mm.
up in this a little bit, but I know for a fact that that's not stopped you at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, age, especially when I was first starting out, age was a big thing. I didn't really talk about it. But now that I had success or credibility, it actually helps a lot more now,
Mm,
because if you say, oh, I'm a 17-year-old, 6-figure entrepreneur, oh my gosh, let's give them attention, right? But when you're first starting out, yeah, age is like, they're like, why would I trust you? And so I
mm,
didn't really talk about my age, but definitely that. And then also just kind of a lack of confidence and also laziness. I feel like complacency, because I'm like, oh, I'm 14 years old starting my business. Oh, I'm not even 18 yet. Like I got time. Like I can, push this off. And so and that still happens now. I'm like, oh, I'm only 17. Like I got time. I got a big community. I got this and I got testimonials. Like I can just whatever. I can just release stuff later. But that kind of slows you down. And I'm trying to get out of that. But I feel like
mm.
that was the biggest thing. It's just like, you get too complacent. You're like, oh, I got more time. Like I'm good. You kind of get too cocky. Essentially, that was probably the hardest thing for me.
Interesting. How do you, when you're in that space, how do you get yourself out of it? How do you like push
Yeah.
yourself on?
Yeah. So when I get in that space, I start thinking about like what the money, like making more money and working hard is going to get, and like kind of setting those kind of goals, um, and kind of figuring out the why behind it. And
Hmm.
so when I get in that kind of space, I look at that and I'm like, why did I get started in the first place? And I need to keep this going. Like, you never know when things could drop out. Or I look at things with like my family and how I could benefit them further, and how like, yeah, I've been made money, but I haven't really done anything super crazy for people around me. And that's kind of like been a goal. And so I'm like, all right, until I've, bought my parents a new car or help pay for rent and all that stuff, like I haven't really done enough to impact my friends and family.
Mm,
And then also I think about traveling. I want to travel, and I have this goal to take like all my close best friends who had been there for me when I started and like who are always with me. Like I want to take all of them on a trip somewhere. And so things like that, like I think about that and I'm like, all right, let's get going. Like we got to make this happen. And then
yeah,
we do. So yeah, that's kind of how I get out of that.
good man. For you,
Yeah.
when you're working with clients, how do you like to work with them? What's your methodology when you're dealing with clients and you're going through the processes with them?
Yeah. So when I work with clients, um, I like them to just back off, let me handle it. Sounds bad, but like I can do it. Like I know I can do it, and I don't need them like looking over my shoulder or like being too involved. And like,
Hmm.
because that's one thing. Like, and that's why people like to hire me for coffee, because they know that like somebody, it's easy for me. Like someone's like, here's my product, and like here's my audience, answer a few questions, and I can work off that. And I'll go and do the research. Like I'll figure it out. That's something about me. Like if I want to make it happen, I'll make it happen. Like there's nothing that can really stop me with that.
Mhm.
And so when I work with clients, I just, I like to communicate with them well. I really like to be like, hey, yo, like this is what's going on, but I just like, I've got it. Let me get you the results. You sit back and relax, and let me do the work because you're paying me. So that's kind of my thought behind it.
Yeah, why not? It's the trust. Do you feel like there's a lot of trust that has to be gained?
I mean, a lot of the trust is gained before we ever get to that point through my positioning online, and whatnot, and like what I've been doing for the last, like you can literally go back and look at my journey for the past 3 years of starting this whole business, and I've luckily documented that. And just with some of the clients we've had and gotten lucky, or the opportunity to work with it right off the bat. If I say, oh yeah, I write all of Dan Henry's emails, people kind of say, all right, dope, like he just won an 8-figure club award at Two Comma Club. There's that. Then the trust is kind of just right there, and that's what I'd say for that.
Good man. How do you deal with criticism online? You still there? Josh.
Yeah, I can hear you. You're just kind of chopping up.
Sorry. I said, how do you deal with criticism online?
Very good. Luckily I haven't gotten too much yet. I've been blessed. I know it's coming soon. I think the only reason why it's not come yet is because I haven't. Like, I mean, it's just because I'm not like running ads. I don't have a webinar and crap, and I don't look like all those other gurus yet. I feel like I'm not like pushing myself to the masses, and not enough eyes are being set on me, and so I feel like I'm not getting that kind of criticism, because I've been real. I mean, my stuff is just my content is just like, hey, like boom, boom, just posting testimonials. I'm not super salesy, I feel like, but I need to be more. I know if I want to scale, I'm going to have to, and if I want to impact more lives. So it's coming. If it does, I'm just going to be like, as long as I know I'm getting the people that join my program results, and there's proof of that, I don't care what people say, because my conscience will be at peace. And then I'll just look at all my successful students, and like that'll just keep me going. Like, we had a student literally spend his last money on our course. He was working at a grocery store, paycheck to paycheck, last money on our course, wouldn't be able to pay rent in the next month or whatever. But then just like a month, like just the first client, a couple weeks after, 4K client, and another 4K. And then he's now bought his house, proposed to his dream girl. I'm invited to his wedding, and he's making 6 figures a year. And so I look at that, I'm like, there's no reason why I shouldn't keep doing what I'm doing. And that's kind of how I handle criticism.
How does that make you feel when you see your client's success like that?
It's crazy, dude. I think it's the best feeling ever. I never thought that 17 years old I would be helping people marry their dream girls and buy their dream house and make 6 figures. Like, I can't believe I've done it. I don't think it's just me too. Of course, I got to credit my students. They work their butts off, and just like anyone else that's helped me. But even just being in the position to guide people that way, it's, I don't know. It's surreal. I don't think it'll hit. Like, I don't think I'll realize how big of a deal that is till I'm like freaking 80 years old and I look back. So, but yeah, it feels good.
What do you think you'll be doing when you're 80?
When I'm 80 years old, I'm gonna be chilling. I'm gonna be chilling, dude. Well, yeah, I'll be chilling. I'll probably have a really big business I've sold or something. I'll be, chilling with my grandkids. Hopefully they'll be playing baseball, because I play baseball. I just get to go to some baseball games and
what it's all about,
have
right?
millions of dollars. And yeah, exactly. So yeah, dude, that's what I'll be doing.
So like the marketing space is super busy. The copying space is super busy. The funnel space is super noisy. What are some myths and like stigma that you're seeing out there online that is just ridiculous in terms of the truth behind it?
Yeah. Okay. I think this is why gurus kind of hate me, as some do. I think one of the biggest myths is that anyone can do it, like that anyone can do it. And I mean, sure, yeah, anyone can do it, but it's kind of ironic, because at least for me, like if you're gonna want to make this work, you have to have some sort of passion or bigger why than it. Like you can't just be some kid who's just like, yeah, I need to make this money. Yeah, I need to get out. Like I need to do da da da. And like, I think there has to be that bigger why. And I know that when I lose focus on my whys, or I need to find a new one, that's when I make the least money. I'm the least productive. I impact the least amount of lives. And so one of the biggest things out there is like that anyone can do it. Like not everyone can do it. You have to have a bigger why. Because here's the thing, like I always tell people, like if I was doing this for the money, I would have quit when I wasn't making money for like the first, year and a half I got started. And so that's one of the biggest things too, in terms of just like the whole concept of starting and doing marketing and building funnels and all of that. Another thing too, another thing with like in general, in terms of like technical side of things, a lot of the myths out, like people think that you're just like, the whole thing of like one funnel away, I think that's awesome. And so I just think, I always say to people like, you're just like one test away. And it sounds so cheesy. Like I always like, I remember watching like drop shipping videos and whatever. And then you got to test products. You just got to test and test ads. And I'm like, they're not even tell me the secret. It's not just, you're just saying that's like buy your course, but you realize that's what it is. And so people watching this, you have to go in with the mindset that you're probably going to fail at first, but over time, you're going to be 10 times better than when you first started. And so that's how I look at everything. Like when I started my funnel agency, when I start anything, I'm building a new course, I'm like, this thing is probably going to fail. This thing's a piece of crap. Like it's probably not going to fail, but I'm going to collect data and make it work. And so those are the two things I see misconception. And it all comes down to that mindset sort of thing and how you perceive it.
Exactly. Do you have like a routine or anything to help your days and your mindset for that success?
No, I feel like I'm the most lazy person. I have the worst mindset, and that's the thing I focus on the least. And I'm working on it. Like I'll be the first one to go out there and be like, yeah, like I didn't wake up till like 12 today. I woke up like, oh, we gotta get on this interview soon. And like I was like, I slept in. Well, all last night I was up figuring out my taxes. That was fun. But
just get an accountant.
Yeah, so
just get an accountant.
I've been working. I have one, but like I'm trying to figure out my side of the thing, and like as I'm almost turning 18, I don't know, it's annoying. There's some stuff I need to do on my end, but
it's a good
so yeah, I was up late doing that.
Problem to have.
Yeah, I know. I'd rather be doing that than going to school. So, but yeah, I feel like I need a better mindset. That's the thing. When I first got started, I was so focused on the Facebook ad strategies, the funnels, the sales strategies, and building your brand. And I didn't focus on having a good mindset. And I was like, personal development, like, Playground's awesome. Like, I was just like, he's just telling people get better, like just mindset, and you just have that common. But like, dude, I don't know. As you get into this, you turn into like the cult of like telling people that they need to focus on mindset. And I feel like I've gotten to that stage where I'm like, all right, I've got everything else down. Probably the only reason I'm not where I want to be is because I don't have the mindset. And so I think it's important. I got to figure that out.
Yeah, man. We'll talk after. But it's one of those things that when people look at you, do you think they want to be like you in terms of like replicate your success, or do they take inspiration and try and create their own? Because this is one thing I see online a lot. People see other people's success and they're like, oh, I want that. I want exactly that. And they don't realize that actually they've got to figure out all their own stuff first before they can even get to that, even get on that road of their own success. Definitely. Right. So do you get people coming up to you as well, being like, hey, I want to be, wearing a cool jumper and still having my Christmas tree up in February?
I mean, yeah, we get that. Other than that, no, I'm just kidding. But I mean, I feel like I get messages a lot of the time on Facebook, and the biggest thing I see people say is like, "Man, you inspire me." You're at such a young age, like I'm your age too, or like, it's crazy that you've done so much at such a young age. And so I feel like I'm definitely inspiring people. I feel like there's a lot more I need to accomplish and impact in people's lives before people start saying like, I want to be just like you. I don't know if that's a good thing to get people to say that, but I feel like if they're not saying that yet, it just means I haven't impacted enough lives. I need to get on that. But I definitely inspire people, and I know I need to probably not take that for granted, because you get those messages. You're like, oh yeah, cool. I'm like, thanks. But I'm like, I'm actually inspiring people. Like I could change someone's life. And so that's kind of how I see it. And I know I should focus on that more. because at the end of the day, that's all that matters, as cheesy as it sounds.
Yeah, dude. It's I think you hit the nail on the head earlier in terms of a lot of people get into marketing and everything because it seems so sexy on the outside, and people chase the 6-figure thing and 7-figure, 8-figure. But actually, it's when people get into that hard work and that determination, sometimes months of not earning a penny, it's like those are the people that survive. Other people are the ones that go from the drop shipping to the Amazon business to the copying business to the you know, working on Etsy for 10p a business, you know, whatever the next trend is. Do you often find that when people are joining your community, they're already pre-vetted and things like that because they've come through your course or they've seen you online, so you're building a community of people that are actually taking action to better their lives and business?
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, the kind of people that I've tried to attract and I market to, like, I'm not pitching a new opportunity, like, I'm not new business opportunity. What do you call, is that? You know, like, I'm not, like, if you look at my stuff, I'm not like, you want to start your business. I'm not talking to, like, my message isn't to people that are trying to start a business or who don't already have one. I more so help people that already have one take it to the next level or get past certain roadblocks. And I've enjoyed working with that because I know, like, those are people that are actually going to do it. Like, I could, oh my goodness, I could get that 2 Comma Club words so fast if I just made a course about helping people that want to start a new business do it, because those kind of people, they just throw money at that stuff. Like, I know, like, they'll just, oh yeah, this is awesome. You could just sell the dream. But with the people I focus on, oh, looks like I'm glitching up a little bit. Can you still hear me?
I can still hear you.
Okay. Yeah, with, like, the people that, like, I'm focused on, they are already in it, and so they're going to take action. It's a little harder to get those kind of people because they're not just throwing money at everything, trying to get that, like, new dream or whatever. But let me just turn my camera back on. But yeah, so, like, that's the whole thing. Like, I usually work with those kind of people that are already taking action, like you said, rather than those people who are just like, I need to get out my 9 to 5, here's money. And they kind of get into it and then they stop because they realize how hard it is. But I don't know.
After all that, you're like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just it confused me. Some of those people, man, I'm telling you, like, you seriously, like, I could literally make a course like how to build your own funnel design business, or like how to and like, it'd be so easy to just make bank off that. But like, it's not really gonna impact those lives because I'm just selling the dream, and then they're just going to realize that it's not always the dream and they're not going to take action. Then I look like a guru who's scamming people. So
like, there's so many of them out there. Don't get us started. We could have a whole conversation on
I know and like
just in the ClickFunnels.
I know and like I try not to I always, like, I don't want to be like that, the guru or the person who's selling a course making fun of people that sell a course. Like, I sell a course, and so I kind of just, like, let them do their thing. If they're scamming people, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna do my thing. But yeah, it's always hard to just hold it in because I see so much stuff. I'm just like, it's so annoying. But it's motivation to make sure I don't ever look like that.
100%.
So.
But you get that in any industry. You know, you always get people in any industry that are not doing things as ethical as others, and those that perhaps are not doing it as ethical never last. You know, they never last. Is that Siri talking to you?
Dude, I know. You literally told me to turn off stuff, and all of a sudden Siri goes off.
I know. Jeez. I told one job, Josh. I gave you one job. But those that are not ethical never last in the business anyway. They always come and go.
No.
So for you, what have you got in store for yourself this year? Where is 2020 gonna take you?
Yeah. So I'm definitely, like, with 2020, we're really going to take the education side of things next level. I kind of want to get that going and not just hold it back. It's almost like, say, like, get it out of the way, essentially, because, like, there's a lot that goes into, like, running an education business, selling it, getting people to know you. And, like, the only reason, like, I don't have to be doing it, but it's just hard because I know I have such a good product that can help so many lives that's just hard to see it sitting there and not sell it. And so I need to automate that and get that going and help a bunch of people and whatever. And then I can focus on my agency because, like, I really enjoy doing that. And so, I mean, like I said, I turn 18 in a couple months. I'd like to, at the end of the year, have my first physical location, have some employees, like at 18 years old, just like have something going on, like be working with some of the best. And like, basically, like, I want people to like, you know, the whole ClickFunnels community, great. I know some people don't like it. I don't know what your stand is on it, but like with like funnel building, whatever, like I want to be known as like the person, like the youngest copywriter that's working with all like the biggest people. Like I want Russell to be like, dude, who is this kid everyone's talking about? And like, I would like to be on that stage, being up there like, oh yeah, I'm 18 years old and I write copy for all your mentors. And you know what I'm saying? So that's what's in store. I know it's going to happen. I don't know when, but it's going to happen. And I'd like it to happen sooner rather than later. Like, I think that'd just be so cool to just like an 18-year-old kid just chilling. Like, I don't know. So that's what I want to do. I know it's going to happen. It's just a matter if I'm going to get it done sooner rather than later.
If you can self-motivate yourself to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Back to that mindset, man. Comes back to that mindset.
I know.
Everything.
Exactly. It's the only thing stopping.
Exactly. So, Josh, my final question to you is, if you were going to give three people, if you're going to give 3 tips to anyone listening that wanted to sort of level up their business, what would it be?
First off, figure out your why. Why the heck are you doing all this? Why the heck do you have a business? Why did you buy that course you just bought the other week that is pitching you something that, you know, you're just wanting it for the money? Why? Figure out what the heck your why is. Take the time to, even if you're doing something right now, you're not enjoying it. It's probably because you don't have a why to do it. I was talking to this kid this other day. He's like, I don't like what I'm doing. This is awful, but I got to pay the bills. I'm like, dude, long term, yeah, you may need to just like, you know, not make as much money for a month, figure out what the heck you need to do. And I've done that. I figured that out. So figure out what your why is. And then, you know, figure out how you're going to, you know, create something that actually helps people. You got to sell a solution. You have to impact lives. At the end of the day, that's the only thing that's going to make you money and make the world a better place, essentially. Fill your bank account, of course, too. That's a little bonus added on there. And so like the why, and then figure out how you're going to impact people. And then figure out like your mindset. Like, I should have focused on that. It's important. That kind of plays in the why. That's kind of a mindset thing too. Something you have to figure out. So really focus in on that. And then, you know, everything else will come with it, because, you know, if you have your why, that's going to motivate you to get things done. If you have a product that's solving people's problems and helping people and is impacting lives, people are going to buy it. And then if you have the mindset, then, you know, being motivated and selling your product is going to come easy, because you're going to go out and figure out how to get things done. And if you have those 3 things, it's just kind of just going to work all together to push you to get to wherever your income goal is, whatever that may be. So that's what I would say. That's what I would say.
Spot on. I couldn't agree more. If anyone wants to chat with you, get in touch with you, join your group, what's the best way for them to do that, Josh?
Yeah, so just go into your search bar, Facebook, type in the Sales Kings. We'll pop up. I think we have like almost 2,000 or 3,300 members now. So just join up, introduce yourself, message me. You'll see my post in the group, and we can have a chat there. And yeah, Facebook's definitely where we're prominent. So just you'll see me probably. I'll be spamming groups with posts or whatever or something. So I'm out there.
Exactly. Josh, thank you so much for coming on. You've been guest number 35 on Founders365.
Wow.
Yeah, the honor. So thank you so much for Josh coming on. Thanks everyone for listening. Thanks everyone for watching. I've been Stephen Haggerty, and I'll see you next time.